All right, welcome to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. I'm your host Rob. That's my co-host Darren. Darren, I got a fucking bone to pick with you. I got a fucking bone to pick with you. But I want you to clarify some shit first before I pick this bone with you, because that's gonna determine everything. I need you to re-clarify your statement about Luka Doncic's usage percentage.
It's high. He has
No,
one of the
okay,
highest.
no, I looked it up. It was high. You were right about that. It was high. And it was one of the highest in the league in the playoffs as well. Um, what did you say his usage percentage was?
I didn't know the actual percentage. I just heard it was one of the highest in the league, if not the highest. I heard it was the highest personally.
Because if I remember correctly, you threw out the number 80%.
No, I didn't.
You didn't throw that number out?
No, I would never throw out a number like that. That's a lot.
Because
Come
what
on.
I remember is you throwing in the number 80%, then saying that it should be around 50.
I might have. No. I might have said 80%, but I didn't say it was 80%.
All right. Were you
I was using
exaggerating?
it. I was using it as a part of an
Were you
example.
exaggerating?
I was using it as part of an example.
All right, because Darren, you were exaggerating a lot. It wasn't that damn high. I
I
looked it
didn't
up.
say it was high in the 80s. I said he had one of the highest usage percentage, if not the highest.
He definitely has the highest of out of any like superstars that have played. But I think you kind of exaggerated how high it was.
I didn't say a percentage. I couldn't have exaggerated it. If it's the highest, if it's the highest, I say it's the highest. That's all I said. That's not exaggerating.
All right, Darren, I'm gonna let you get away with it, but I'm gonna let
I,
you get
I,
away with it this time. But I'm
I
I'm
have no
watching
idea what
you.
you're talking about.
I'm
I
watching
have
you. You said
no
some
idea.
crazy shit about Jason Tatum. I'm watching.
Look, Jason Tatum has some very good defensive games. I thought he wasn't scoring like that until you showed me the numbers, and even then, I'm still questionable with those numbers. But
All right. Well, the first game we're going to get into today is Game Three of the Dallas Mavericks Golden State series.
it
So
was
you
in
got
game
any?
four.
We're talking about Oh yeah,
Last
you're
night's
right.
game.
I need to look at the Boston game. We need to look at the Boston game. Give me 1 second.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
mm.
Game four for Boston. That's what we need. All right. So do you have any takes on this game?
Um,
Because it
I'm
was a
not
shit
surprised.
show.
I'm just not surprised the Celtics won. It was bad, but it was specifically bad because Miami missed like 14 field goals in the first quarter, like 14 shots, like all in a row. And when you're doing that, it's really not too much for me. If I go down and score 9 out of the times, it's gonna start looking at like a blowout. You know what I mean? That's 18 points right there, swing right there. So I'm not surprised. Um, Miami's banged up right now. That's not an excuse, of course. But what I will say is, it was a very ugly game for Miami. But that's not taking anything away from the Celtics. And this series goes back to Miami 2-2, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I still like Miami to take this though.
Uh, I don't know, man. With if injuries could easily derail this series for Miami, and it's already started. It's already started. Like you said, they had a terrible shooting night, but if they can't stay healthy and all be there, at least most of them, it's going to be really tough to get out the series, especially if Boston's completely healthy. That's that's basically my takeaway. Like you said, I'm not surprised that was a blowout. It's going to be kind of hard to score because if you look at their box score and you look at their starters, none of their starters were even in double digits. And like you said, missing 14 of your first shots is not going to win you basketball games.
Yeah, it's not.
So there's not really that much to say about this game, but as simple as they have to stay healthy. This for me to think they're going to stay in this series.
That's for you. I think Marcus Smart didn't play in this game, right?
I don't believe so.
I think yeah, both teams got to stay healthy. Ultimately,
But if
it was just a bad shooting night on the road. If this happened at Miami, I'd be worried. But this is on the road at the Celtics. I'm not worried about that.
okay, all right. Then let's talk about this Dallas
I
Golden
got
State
this
game
one.
four. Go ahead.
This one from last night.
Yes.
Okay, I got this. Okay. Um, okay. So first things first. We send our condolences to the families that was lost in Texas. From the shooting yesterday.
Oh, that shit's
Um,
sad, bro. Oh
yeah,
my
it was
god.
100% sad. But the reason why I'm starting with this is because Steve Kerr was 100% right. And I'm sure I'm going to bring this up on the Purple Pill podcast this weekend about gun control, and hopefully probably get Trevor on there as well. But Steve Kerr had some really good words right before the tip off, and it was definitely needed. I definitely think everybody should go look up that house rule, that bill that's they passed, the House passed, but it's on the Senate's desk. I think everybody should go look that up. Um, Ultimately, the reason why I also bring that up, I'm gonna get this back to sports, is because I think Golden State's mind was not in this game last night, as much as it was where their coach's mind was, um, and it was probably in Texas, to be real with you. Obviously they're playing in Texas, but it was just it was just sad, and I think that's where the players' mindset was because this was a blowout pretty quickly, and it was just a weird night overall because I know they also had that delay with after halftime with the rain coming down
Crazy. I
into the
saw that.
building. Yeah, that was weird. That's when I thought Golden State was going to come back after that, but within like 2-3 minutes of the third quarter actually starting off, I was like, yeah, this is they were just raining threes. It was over. It was over. It was done.
My biggest question to you is because I didn't get to watch most of the game because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest question to you was who was more right in this game, me or you?
About
Who
what?
who who was more important in this Dallas win, just from a basketball standpoint? Uh, Brunson and Dinwiddie, or the 3-point shooters for Dallas? Who would have more impactful on this win?
I mean, ultimately the 3-point shooters.
So my follow up question to you is: do you think they changed anything, and if so, what?
No, I didn't catch the very beginning of this game, but I
Yep.
will say they were just making threes, dog. Like when I turned this on, it was like when I actually turned this off. Actually, I turned it off when the score was Dallas had 95 and Golden State had 70, 60 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were just it was no, even it was so obvious that even Golden State couldn't pull it off. Like nobody was going to stop them. They were knocking down threes from everywhere, everywhere. But I don't think you get another game like this from Finney Smith.
Yeah, I'm with you, dog. I'm with you. Um, that might be. I haven't seen his game logs, but that probably is easily his best game of the playoffs so far. Um, Reggie Bullock looked amazing. By the time I came and started watching the game, it was like the mid third quarter.
Hmm.
Like probably like 7 minutes into the third quarter, and it was already pretty established that they were up by a lot, and Golden State was probably going to lose this game more than likely. But my biggest thing is that scares me about this series is the fact that Golden State was able to get this shit down to 10 points.
I'm not surprised.
I I'm not surprised, but from a Dallas standpoint, that can't happen.
They don't play defense.
That can't happen, bro. You have to be able to contain a lead at some point. I know, yes, they kept the 10-point lead. You have to be able to hold it like your 20-point lead, man. That's you can't keep. It's not even a 20-point lead. Weren't they up 30 at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. They can't keep doing that, bro. And that's exactly why they're going to lose the series. I
They
pray
don't
that they
play
win
defense.
the next game in Golden State, but no, bro. It's that's not likely to happen. That is not
Go
likely to
up,
happen.
scroll up. They don't play defense, dog. These are just missed shots. These are just missed shots.
And
They
that's a
don't play
terrible way to
defense.
play Golden State and hoping they miss. That's a terrible way to play them. You're just praying to the basketball gods at that point.
I mean, what can you do with Golden State? How would you defend them?
Yeah, I don't know if you can with this team. The way this team is built.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't think there's many teams that are built to stop Golden State. Just my
But
opinion.
I
I
will
just
say
don't think
this
so.
though. They say this thing. I don't know if they say the same thing about the NBA, but they say this thing in the NFL. The team you lose to in the playoffs is the team you build your team to beat. For next year, they definitely got to start looking in that direction if Dallas wants to get over this hump, because they're able to get up over the hump of the first round playoffs this year. Finally get out the first round. Thank God they didn't have to play the Clippers again. And now I think if you're Dallas and you're Mark Cuban, you're in a Western Conference mindset, and you got to start building your team to beat Golden State.
And you're building them to stop Golden State?
To beat Golden State.
How do you beat Golden State?
So first off, we need to get Luka more help. Are you with me that Dinwiddie and Brunson? We both are high on Dinwiddie and Brunson.
Yes.
They need some type of. This is gonna sound crazy. They gonna need some type of stretch four that play with Luka, but they need that stretch four to show up. They do. They do. Porzingis was on paper was perfect for this team, and I think he would have had a strong impact on the series if he was the Porzingis from that we thought he was going
And
to
the
be.
Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks. I don't know who, because I don't know who exactly the free agents are this year, but he needs something to put him over the edge, and I don't think it's any of the guards because I like both of their other guards. And I think Trey Burks is on this team, right? Yeah, he is. He's at the end
Yeah.
of the bench.
Trey Burke.
Yeah. So my question to you is, Darren. First of all, what do you think of that? And
It's great in
how
theory,
do you get
but
better? How does this team get better?
I mean, I'm not even disagreeing with you, but the only person I can name is old.
Who?
Kevin Love. They got so many bigs up in Cleveland. Y'all have so many guards down here.
How about this? How about this
But
will
Kevin
be a
Love is
trade.
old. He's not going to help you on the defensive side.
How about Julius Randle? He's
He's not
not
a
as
stretch.
old.
He's not a stretch. He's not a better stretch than Kevin Love.
He's not a better stretch than Kevin Love, but he's a little bit more dynamic of a scorer. And New York might
Debatable.
be done with him, and you might be able to get a good trade for him.
I just don't think he knocks down threes. So he's going to crowd the paint for Luka,
Not necessarily
which is
crowd the
just
paint. You could run a lot of pick and rolls with him and Luca. Post him up in the paint. Let him be your quote unquote second superstar.
uh, sure. That could possibly work.
It was just an
Uh,
idea.
I, j- I
They
don't
they
know,
need
man.
something though. They need something because they're going to run into I feel like they're going to run into a bunch of walls in the West without anything to make them better.
They
I
ultimately
was
just
thinking
need a
about
big
this.
man. They just need a talented big man.
I was thinking about
That
this.
doesn't disappear. Rudy Gobert would be a good
Oh,
person for them.
I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I was going to say next. This team reminds me so much of the Utah Jazz. And besides Rudy Gobert, this team reminds me of the Utah Jazz. Besides Rudy
Nah,
Gobert,
nah.
I see very similar teams. The only thing I would argue is Dallas's superstar is better right now. That's the only thing I would argue.
I just forgot who Donovan Mitchell was.
It's not
Oh
that I
my
forgot.
goodness.
I just Luca's
Fuck
just a better
that.
superstar right now.
Fuck that.
You know,
Fuck
Luca's
that.
made. They just came out with the NBA first teams and stuff. Luca's made the NBA first team 3 out of the 4 years he's been in the league.
He great. That's great.
So that's not a
But
blasphemous statement. I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell sucks. I'm just saying I see similarities in the way they built their team.
I disagree. There's Luca is a point guard. Donovan Mitchell is a shooting guard. He's an undersized shooting guard, but he's a shooter guard. He's a shooting guard. Um, they obviously have a big man who plays. And let's leave him out of it. You're basing it on the shooters,
The shooters
which
and
is
the being around the star player,
the what?
the star player,
What around the star player?
the shooters around the star player.
Okay, Utah, I would debate go deeper at shooters. They don't go. They have one other person who can handle the ball, and he comes off the bench. His name is Jordan Clarkson. This team has two other people that can handle the ball besides Luca, and that's Brunson and Dinwiddie. Now you could say Mike Conley, but once again, Mike Conley's getting old. Is he good? Yes, but he's getting old.
Just better shooters because I would argue the Utah shooters are better, or more pure.
Both. They have more and they're better. I can count on them more. Now in the playoffs, we can debate that I can count. I can't count on them because they're not getting out of the first round consistently.
Um, this is just kind of a question. You know, has Donovan Mitchell gotten out the first round? Have they won a series?
I don't believe so. Didn't in the bubble? Didn't Jamal Murray and them win
Yeah,
the Nuggets?
yeah.
Yeah, he never got out. I'm pretty sure he's never gotten out the first round.
Okay, maybe okay. I still look at their teams really similar. Uh,
I
yes,
don't
Luca is the point guard, but he's still like their high level scorer on that team as well.
because he takes a lot of shots. I mean, they both take a lot of shots. I agree with you.
They take a lot of shots as the main guy, the main superstar. You have all the shooters around him. I look at that very similar. They maybe I have the exact same like scheme per se, but the way I see their built their team.
Why is that? So you're saying Dallas is getting further than Utah strictly because Luca is better?
No, no, no. I'm not saying that at all. Um,
Why is Dallas getting this far and Utah is not? That's my question to you. That's my question to anybody who's in the audience as well. Because
First of all,
if you do think like this, you're saying if you put Rudy Gobert on Dallas, it's not like they're not going to make it as far as what they're going to make it, right?
correct.
So
No, I was just comparing the teams and where they're built. I'm not saying that. I'm not even necessarily saying that Dallas is a better team than Utah. Um, and once again, we can still see the holes in this team because we know the holes in that Utah team are clear and vibrant.
so answer my question.
No, well, first of all, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. And the ask the question why is Dallas doing better? Dinwiddie's been
Why is it?
balling this year, dog. Dinwiddie's been balling really hard, and they ran into two really hard matchups the past 2 years when they had to run into the Clippers in the first round. I think that's just a tough draw both those years. And they, I believe, don't quote me on this. I believe they probably lost both series in 6 games. But I'm not even saying I don't think Utah is that there's that much separation from Utah and Dallas. I don't think there's that much situation. I would even argue they're probably in around the same situation. The
I
only
think neither
difference
one of
is Utah has the luxury of having Rudy Gobert. It's just a matter of, all right, do we want to make this our long term guy or not? Because
I think
Donovan
neither
Mitchell
one of
obviously
them.
is.
I
Go
think
ahead.
neither one of them are going to see real success. The Mavericks or the Utah Jazz. Neither one of them are going to see real success right now. There's a young team brewing down in New Orleans. If that team gets right, Golden State is not going anywhere. Phoenix, I don't like them as much as everybody, but they're really not going anywhere. Lakers can't go nowhere besides up. And the Clippers are going to get their own arena, so you know what the fuck that means.
More mediocrity.
They're going to want to put their own banners up. You, uh, elitist.
Darren,
Not
I
only
think the
that,
Clippers want to put their own banners up for like the past 40 years.
I'm leaving that alone. Timberwolves as well. Shit, Memphis Grizzlies.
I agree with you on most of the. I
All these are
actually
better teams to me than both of those two teams.
potentially.
Potentially, Pelicans really got the Pelicans got the talent over both of those teams. They just need to get that shit together.
You could argue the same thing with some of the other teams you said. More than any of those other teams, I would have said Memphis first, just because they're so young and they still have a lot they can still develop a lot. I
And
feel
they've
like their
shown
ceiling
potential
as a
each year.
team is actually kind of insane compared to the rest of the
And
West.
I feel the same thing. Shit, the Nuggets.
They kind of showed
When
out
they
this year. They proved it this year by getting the 2 seed.
the Nuggets.
They just got to stay healthy, dog.
Thank you. Like,
Um,
so
but
that's my whole point. Dallas
that's
and
asking for a lot,
Utah.
though.
My connection might go out a little bit. Dallas and Utah, they're not they're not going to form, they're not going to fight well in the West. They're just not. I'm sorry to say until they this team is a big man away. Dallas is a big man away. Utah, you got to implement a whole nother guard or help me out, wing or another wing. For example, if I'm Utah, I go get Pascal Siakam. I do whatever I can to go get Pascal Siakam.
That's
You know
interesting.
why? Because him and Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert will officially make that team a defensive team. They don't have a real identity besides shooting and Donovan Mitchell on the offensive side. At least on when you see Pascal Siakam locking up somebody on the wing, and then he has to stop and go against Rudy Gobert when you get past Siakam by chance. Now we're talking about a different game.
All right. The only
If
thing,
I'm if I now if I'm Dallas,
yeah.
exactly what you said. I try to go get a young pick and roll partner with Luca. I don't care who it is. He just has to be big and able to either hit the three or get to the basket.
I'm gonna ask you this question because um if you're Toronto, Toronto's doing I feel like is doing a really good job of trying to rebuild that team. Do you want to get rid of Siakam?
No, I don't. He's too nice. I like Siakam. I'm
He
not talking
balled
about from
out.
the other team's standpoint. I'm talking about from strictly Utah's standpoint.
Gotcha,
They
gotcha.
need another ball handling person or a person who can get their shot. And Siakam can get his own shot. And he plays really good defense because he's so long. He's a defender. That's where he made his bones first.
Oh man, I really still feel like the West has a lot to do, and the West is getting younger, the East is getting younger. I think the future of the NBA is very bright, and for the future to come, I can't wait, man. I just can't wait. I think the
I
next
understand.
3-4 years of NBA basketball are going to be amazing.
I'm just okay on it. I'm gonna be honest,
I'm
because
excited,
the
man.
superstars are. Because if we talk about the superstars, I'm good in the playoffs. I don't got a problem in the playoffs, but Ben Simmons, Kawhi Leonard, Zion Williamson, they're like you could say Zion was hurt. I just saw that nigga windmill dunk the same time his team needed him. You feel me?
His back hurt, and this nigga's doing windmills in the gym.
While his team needs him in the playoffs, bro.
Oh man.
Fuck that shit. I'm just not Kawhi. I don't know about his injury. I personally don't know. I won't even judge too much, but we just know that man is getting millions of dollars and plays very unfrequently. And then Ben Simmons, I'm like, we got multiple videos on this page on that. We don't
Yeah.
need to.
They
So
claim they claim he's coming back next year.
that's
Who
great.
I forget who it was. It might have been Jalen Rose, or I forget who it was. But they're saying Ben Simmons was getting too much hate because we're putting too much on him. It was Gilbert Arenas. That's who it was. Gilbert Arenas was on a podcast, the I'm Athlete podcast, and he was talking about Ben Simmons, and he was saying that they got too much hate because Ben Simmons is a defensive player, and that's the way we should look at him. We should even look at him as an offensive player.
Okay, cool. And I would kind of agree with that. But then you're calling Doc Rivers a bad coach because Ben Simmons had the ball in his hand. He's a point. They play him as a. If that's the case, I can't do nothing with him on the offensive side. Rudy Gobert, he's still pick and roll. He's not the greatest shot maker, but he's so big that it's kind of hard for him to miss the damn shot all the time, right?
Yep.
Ben Simmons passing up on a dunk. You can't justify that. You can't
Trey
see
Young kind
there's
of
no
Trey Young
there's
justified
no
it.
who?
Trey Young.
What do you say?
Um, I'm paraphrasing, but they were saying that his back was turned to the basket, and he probably didn't know it was Trey Young under the basket. And if he realized it was Trey Young, he probably would just went up. And the first thing he saw was maybe his teammate's jersey, and just try to get it to him real quick. They try to justify it.
I can't justify that, dog. He's 6'10". Like, come on, bro. He's 6'10". Like, if you know when the presence of a 7 footer is behind you. Like, stop. Let's stop the cap. Come on, man. His back was turned to the basket, but I am sure I've seen Ben Simmons make shots, literally laying it up like that. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm good on. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Ben Simmons. I'm just talking in general. I'm just talking about in general when we talk about being excited about the NBA. I'm excited when the playoffs come. I'm not excited about the regular season as much, and it's. I think also has to do with the 82 game season, but also the fact that they don't want to play. Like they're getting paid millions of dollars not to play. It, you remember when we were kids, it was an argument that people were like, these athletes shouldn't be getting paid millions of dollars, doctors and teachers and da da da. Remember?
Yeah, I did a whole thing about it in high
Yeah,
school.
and you make money, you make money. We're capitalists for the most part. We understand. So we know, right? We're
It's whatever.
capitalists. But now these niggas are making money to not play games, bro. Like, and that's the part that's like, all right, I'm not I'm not jealous of this, but I'm jealous of it. Like, damn, bro. Like, that's 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 some shit. But
Not not
if
to
you're
not to switch it up, but I remember speaking to that argument about players making money. I remember when I was younger, my mom was like, I was trying to explain to her why they sit their players and the NFL wise, not to change up the subject, but NFL wise, why
week
they sit their
17, week
players
18,
at the end of the season at week 17, 16 back then. Um, and she was like, I don't understand that. If you go pay money to go watch a game, you want to see your You want to see the best players play. But I was like,
Fair.
Mom, you don't understand. They're just trying to save them so they don't get hurt in the playoffs. I bet those fans would be way more happy if they won a Super Bowl instead. To bring this back to the NBA, I don't think they have any excuse to what you're saying. It's not like the NFL where it's that super physical of a game where you're like literally colliding heads every single time. Um, I think what should happen is, you know what would fix this? If the next collective bargaining agreement, the owners say we're not going to guarantee your contracts anymore.
Or pay to play. We'll guarantee you your money if you play. That's injury shit. Not like it's cool if you're injured, but you got to you want to reduce your money. Like they're going to have a clause where it's like, bet if you get hurt, those first 2 months we'll pay you your full price. When you go into that third month of being injured and it's an injury that we think you should be back from, now we can start saying pay to play. Now we can reduce the amount that you're actually getting paid at that moment. Because that's ultimately what's going on. I'm so guaranteeing you that we're going to see another lockout.
Oh no, we definitely are. There's no way
There's
we're
no
not. There's
question.
gonna be a
There,
huge fight.
there's no question because they're too as NBA players, they're used to getting what they want in some way, right?
Correct.
But now the owners are paying millions of dollars, and they're going to start seeing us as we're saying it as a completely random topic right now. But I said it myself. I'm not excited for the regular season. I'm excited for the playoff. I'm actually these past couple of years. I'm actually okay with not watching the regular season. The Lakers wasn't good. That was my main attraction of the season. Brooklyn wasn't good. That was other people's main attraction of the season. I want to see the Pelicans get better. Zion wasn't there though. Ja was the story, but Ja wasn't the story until later this season. While other people was talking about the Bulls, I was still in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not like, and then Golden State, it was like, yo, we know what Golden State's gonna do. I probably watched Clay's first game back, and that was probably the most I watched. I'm not gonna say I didn't watch games, but I'm gonna tell you I can't remember any. I can't remember anything from the regular season. But years ago, I can remember. Obviously, you remember the referee coming to shut down the game for the NBA during COVID.
Definitely.
You remember Zion's first game back when he knocks down 4 threes just because they left him open. You remember these things. There are certain things in the regular season you remember. This year was just completely, it was a wash to me. I don't have a memory from the season, like a memory. So I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I can wait till the playoffs where I see Josh done.
And honestly, dog, at the end of the day, I really can't blame you. I really can't blame you because I didn't watch damn near any. I probably watched like at least maybe like a handful of games. I know I didn't watch it front to back this year. Regular season was so, and I really can't blame you. Um, but also, I always wondered this. You could tell me if I'm wrong or not. I never had a team in the NBA. I've never been a fan of just one team. Like I rooted for like Miami, LeBron and stuff, Cleveland LeBron, but I've never actually had a team. I don't think you have a team either, correct?
Not right now. When I was a kid, I was a Miami fan
All right.
before
So,
before LeBron
do
went
you
there.
think that affects how we look at the regular season at all? That's my question to you. Because I think it does a little bit. So,
Fair, yes, fair. But if I'm a fan of a team and my star is sitting out, but he also does a windmill dunk before the game, I don't know if I'd rather not be a fan of any team or would I just be fucking sad about that because your team, y'all made it to the playoffs and y'all not going nowhere. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I said it multiple times after I saw that windmill dunk. I was like, I think before I've seen it, like we can go back on this show. I was like, if they insert Zion right now, they beat the Suns, and it's the craziest upset in the playoffs because Aiden couldn't have dealt with Zion. There wasn't Brandon Ingram was becoming a superstar in that series. CJ made things fit. He didn't play though. So it's just as a fan, it's hard for me to if I'm a Pelicans fan, I would be a little bit upset. If I'm a Clippers fan, I gotta hear people talk about the Lakers 24/7, and then the year after this guy wins a championship in Canada, he comes to our team, and what success have we seen?
I missed something. Who
How
came for
many
Canada?
games has he played?
Who came for Canada? I missed something.
Kawhi.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I think he's played. I don't know how many games exactly, but he missed a lot of the season.
I'll put it like this to you. I guarantee you there's more people like us who are fans of players, plays, teams overall, how they're built, and coaches
Mhm.
more than there's actual. I'm a solid Cavs fan. I'm a solid Nets fan. You know the fluidity of the NFL or the NFL, NBA. We don't know. Kevin Durant could be gone. Why would you want to be a Nets fan? So you can hear people talk about the Knicks. Come on.
Yeah,
Like the Celtics, I understand for like those brands like the Celtics and the Lakers.
Celtics,
But if
Lakers,
you're
Knicks. Yeah,
anything in between is kind of like
maybe
okay.
if you're like from that city, like I could see like a Memphis fan being a Memphis fan like for the past 20 years or something like that.
I could see
But
that.
from your overall
San
standpoint, I
Francisco.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'm just talking about because those that's 30,
Yeah,
30
if you're from
in
Alabama,
NBA cities.
I don't expect you to like have like a basketball team.
Exactly. If I'm in the middle, oh, also they talking about expanding the NBA to Seattle and Las Vegas. I don't know how that's going to work.
Um, so first of all, I would love to see basketball back in Seattle. That'd be dope.
I'd love to see it in Vegas.
Um,
That's when I'll become a Vegas fan.
I don't
Oh
think we
yeah,
want. I
no,
don't think we want the NBA in Vegas.
I'll take it.
Uh, we're okay. I think it would be really dope if they went more if they stayed international. I know this probably won't happen, but if they expanded it to like the UK or Europe, just have like a
No,
professional team over there. I know from like a travel standpoint
no,
that'd probably be hell. But I think it'd be really dope. Even if we put one in like in Mexico City or something.
I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I just say keep it close. Don't go too far. Don't go over the pond. That's too much. But yeah, I don't got a problem with that. It's probably hell for the players though, traveling. But
Yeah, the NFL players said that they absolutely hate going to the UK for the games because the travel sucks. The time difference kind of fucks them up.
the NFL,
Yeah, do you know how they do the one game in the UK a year?
ooh, they do a lot more now.
Yeah, they said they don't like it because of the travel. The travel is dog shit.
Yeah, there's some good games though. I still love watching them. I love watching their fans too. Their fans over there are
I
great.
love
Shout
yeah.
out to y'all. Shout out to y'all if y'all watching us. Shout out to the UK fans
The
for
coolest
and that
part
watch the NFL.
the coolest part about that was no matter what who their favorite team was or what team they liked, they wore that team to the game. I thought that was really dope. That was probably my favorite part. Hey, I might not like the Miami Dolphins and Atlanta Falcons, but I'm still gonna wear my Browns jersey to this game.
Exactly. You can. They were repping. They rep their teams out there, no matter what.
And I
That's
just
dope.
I love to see that they fuck with the NFL over there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I think we're going. I think the NFL is going to Mexico City. I think it's the San Francisco, Arizona game this season. Is I'm not sure if it's Mexico City. I know it's some city in Mexico. I'm sorry, I just don't know exactly where. But um, I think that's dope. I think the last time the NFL was in Mexico was or planned to go was a Raiders game, and I remember watching that. That was dope.
Uh,
This is like an old article.
Aztec, Mexico City.
I knew that part. My fault. Yep. And I'm pretty sure they're playing. the San Francisco 49ers. I'm pretty sure it's a divisional game, so yeah, San Francisco. That's gonna be fly though. I can't wait to see their fans too. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be fire actually. I like that.
Last thing from you. I need your prediction for tonight's Miami Boston game.
Back to the NBA. Back in Miami. I think Miami pulls it out. I'm worried about the Celtics though. The Celtics are nice. Ultimately, this season I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics made it to the playoff, made it to the finals. Honestly, if they won the finals. At this point, they've beaten some great teams. Their story is really good.
I don't know if this is a dumb statement, but I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams go to the finals at this point. I think both are definitely deserving of it from a talent standpoint, from a team standpoint. I think they have proven themselves this season and this postseason to be the two best teams
In the East, no
in the
question.
East.
There's not. That's not even a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, hold up.
Are you saying Giannis with if he had Chris
Yeah,
Middleton?
yeah. My fault. I'm. Here's my. Uh, the consistency of Drew Holiday kind of bothers me on the offensive end. Defensively, I know he's going to do. I'll have to think about it consistently with the Celtic starters and the Miami starters, but I think I kind of get what I know what I'm gonna get from them. So that's the only part where I'm a little bit. But I don't know. Those are definitely the three best teams in the East. There's no question. When healthy, those are the three best this past season.
Definitely. I'm gonna take Boston tonight to win this game
Miami.
and force it to game 6. All
Miami
right.
blowout.
All right. So you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right. So then I would just like to thank you guys again for listening to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with me and Darren. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Hit that bell button so you can get notifications. Peace out.
Peace. Y'all stay up.